Welcome to the Get Inspired Project. I'm Toni Reece, and today I am with GJ Reynolds. Welcome to the project, G.
Thanks a lot, Toni. Thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. G, take a moment and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, trainer, and now an author. Just recently launched my book, The Powerful Warrior Within You, and it's available through a variety of sources and powerfulwarrior.com, and I specialize in helping other like-minded entrepreneurs to be successful.
Well, we're happy to have you be part of the project. Let's go into the first question. What does inspiration mean to you?
Well, inspiration for me is, I personally receive personal inspiration when I rise up from a certain place or a challenge, or I see other people who rise up from a challenge and they overcome whatever obstacles they're facing. And when I see people do that, or I've done it for myself, that's where I draw my own personal inspiration.
What happens when you're inspired like that?
Well, for me, it's showing that, you know, everything is possible with making the right choices for the individual. And for myself, I like to draw inspiration from, by saying, here's where I'm at, and here's where I can go, and I have the opportunity to make a choice, and I have the opportunity to restart wherever I'm at. And each day for me is a new day, and it's a restart.
Now, when you're inspired like that, how do you put that into practice?
Well, understanding that, inspiration is a personal, I'll even call it a personal gift, and just recognizing that, and then just knowing that each day I can restart and re-choose, just like I just said.
So it is a mindset for you. When you're inspired, it really inspires a mindset that you can kind of recalibrate your day or your life and say, okay, here we go, we're going to start this again.
Most definitely. And one of the things that goes along with a mindset is the only three things that we actually control in our life is our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And so understanding that I have the ability to control my thoughts, my words, and my actions, then I have the choice to choose whatever is necessary and what's best for me, and then choose the appropriate action to carry it out.
Now, do you use this mindset as far as the work that you do as well?
Most definitely. Being an entrepreneur is definitely to be successful, you have to have the positive mindset, because there's always challenges of some type, and a lot of times they're around the corner, and a lot of times you may not see it. And so having the right mindset and understanding that, okay, this is just simply a challenge, it's a chance for me to understand it, and then to choose appropriate action, and having the right mindset and the right attitude is definitely key.
What has your greatest life lesson been to date?
When I first saw that lesson, that question, I was like, there's a lot of answers I could give, and then you asking me that, to me, each and every day is a gift. And once I really understood that each day is a gift, and then I have the choice and the opportunity to make whatever decisions that are best for me for that day, and today is what I have to live, and right at this very moment. So for me, understanding that life's a gift, each day is a new day, and I get to have that opportunity to see how I choose to live it and make that choice for myself.
Gee, most life lessons are learned, and I'm wondering, was there a process for you that you went, you know what, I have to start living this. I have to start living this lesson that I learned. Did something happen, or was it just something that you've had that mindset?
Well, I've always had a pretty good mindset. However, like you said, lessons are learned. And I would say that one of the major defining moments for me was 10 years ago, is I was actually in depression and I was suicidal. And I actually touch upon that in my book, The Powerful Warrior. And I was just at a point where I was stuck. I was unable to move forward in a positive way. And it seems like whatever I did just made it worse. And it was like I was stuck in the mud, spinning my tires. And no matter what I did, it just kept getting deeper and deeper. And so just one day I went out on my back deck of my my house. It was a beautiful day, and I was ready to end my life there, and God just grabbed a hold of me and just showed me that there was a better way to live life, and that even though I didn't understand it at that moment in time, I knew there was opportunity there, and I could get back on my feet. For me, that was a defining moment, and from that point on, it was bit by bit, I started to put my life back together and climb back up on the mountain.
Thank you for sharing such a personal story. How would you then correlate this life lesson with inspiration?
Well, probably the best way I can describe that is when I've shared that story, I'm amazed at how many other people have felt those feelings of being stuck or being challenged, or even to the point of being depressed and suicidal. And there's 17 million people in the U.S. that are clinically depressed or characterized as being depressed. They've actually been diagnosed, and there's another 10 million that are undiagnosed, and so there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. And so when I see people that can relate to my story and understand that where they're at, and then they make the choice to move forward, which is by going back to the word inspiration and changing their life. And when I have a little bit of impact or plant a little seed within them so that they can move forward, or that they can see that there is options and choices in a positive way for them, they just have to choose it. That's probably the best way I can describe it for myself.
What would you like your legacy to be?
Well, for me, going back to 10 years ago, it became very clear in a very short time that my whole reason of being on this earth was to help impact as many people as possible. And the more I focused on that, the more it's become very clear for me. And so leaving a legacy is a responsibility, and we're all going to leave a legacy. Leaving a positive legacy requires effort. And so my legacy that I choose to leave is to impact as many people as possible, and my goal is to impact millions of people all across the world, and so that they can transform their life, their health, or their prosperity in some way.
G, thank you very much for being part of the Get Inspired project.
Well, thank you, and I'm getting inspired, and hopefully we can inspire many others through your own efforts. So thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. Take care.